that their refusal to deliver to the Big Apple could paralyze New York City as we know it. As more drivers vow to join the boycott following the bombshell ruling in the former president's silver fraud case, things are getting ugly here, guys. So imagine empty shelves, skyrocketing prices, and traffic chaos. This is the potential reality that a lot of New Yorkers face if, in fact, this trucker boycott rolls or doesn't roll into town. Now, this is like the first 24 hours of this trucker boycott that we've been hearing so much about. But here's the reality here. From empty shelves to soup. Think about it like this. New York City is heavily dependent on truckers. Empty shelves in supermarkets, price hikes on everyday essentials. I mean, we are definitely going to be exploring this domino effect that could literally roll out into our daily lives. So I want you guys to think about this for a second. Think traffic jams. Think about the fallout from strained supply chains, shuttered restaurants, lacking fresh ingredients, and even the impact on American healthcare. And you can bet that this is not going to be just New York. So it starts here in New York, but here in this video, I'm going to share how this could be widespread across the United States. If you guys are able to hear me, okay, please drop me a quick comment down below. And all I ask from you guys is that you just take a second, drop a quick like for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. And I cannot thank you enough for always sharing the videos. It totally helps out the channel a lot. So here's the situation, guys. So truckers have threatened to boycott New York City over the $355 million fraud ruling against former President Donald Trump. Now, whether you're a fan of Donald Trump or not, this is not really about Trump. This is more or less about Americans and government here. So as my uncle pointed out, Congress thinks that they can pass laws. The courts pass judgments. But without food, you really can't do anything. And with what's happening to Trump, people are very worried about how any company in New York could be charged with anything and ultimately be destroyed. Think about what, so don't look at Trump as you're a fan of Trump or you like Trump or you don't like Trump. Look at Trump and his situation as this could happen to anyone. They can take your livelihood and your business and leave you out in the cold. That's why a lot of people are thanking these truckers. People are literally standing up with the truckers and saying, hey, thank you so much for standing up. And basically they're saying, you know, hey, I'm standing with the truckers and thank you for letting us know what's what. So if you guys appreciate the content that I'm about to share with you guys, definitely share this video. I've got a lot more in store for you guys. So just for context, these protesters, they're now voicing their stand against Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Arthur, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how to pronounce the Supreme Court Justice's name. I think it's like Arthur Engoron or something like that. Anyway, his decision to fine Donald Trump and essentially his family, his kids, $355 million for inflating his net worth by billions of dollars to supposedly get bigger loans from banks and insurers. Additionally, the judge went and ruled that Trump is prohibited, like literally prohibited from holding office or director positions in New York companies for 3 years. That's a long time, guys. Now, Trump denounced the case as election interference and warned of further repercussions to New York City. Now, I see a lot of you guys in the comments. I see Catalia in here. I see a lot of you guys from New York. Comment down below if you're from New York. I see Roger Chandler. I'm going to chat with you guys toward the end of the video. I'm gonna get to your comments in a little bit toward the end. Anyway, so one trucker who's joined the protest, her name is Jennifer Hernandez. And Jennifer says that this potential New York trucker protest could shut down New York City as we know it. In fact, according to her, if New York loses just 10% of the trucks that go in there, the prices in New York are going to skyrocket on everything from milk to eggs to pretty much any type of goods that the consumer needs. And if this happens, it's going to cost everyone more money. So yeah, make sure that those pantries are stocked up, guys. If you're in New York, let somebody in New York know that they need to get ready because we don't know how far this thing could go. And I'm hearing reports that, you know, this might be 7 days. Other people are saying it needs to be at least for 2 weeks. Otherwise, if it's not at least a 2-week boycott, then people won't really feel it. I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from you guys. especially since this is definitely picking up some steam on social media with a lot of other truckers posting and expressing their support. Now, one man even suggested that the boycott could go on for 3 years. Now, I don't know about 3 years. That definitely seems a little excessive. And I don't know how sustainable that would be, especially with a lot of truckers already talking about how little they're making right now with truckloads being so cheap. But anyway, this guy on TikTok, though, who was saying it could last for 3 years, he said, keep on effing around if you want to, and you're going to find out in New York. So I don't know. The boycott, though, it seemed to have been started by a conservative social media influencer by the name of Chicago Ray. He posted a clip saying that he had spoken to some of his trucker colleagues who said that they would just stop making deliveries to the city starting this week. He also went and said that he had already communicated with colleagues who informed their bosses that they would not be driving to the Big Apple. So according to his post, like 95% of truckers support the former president, and even a lot of these I don't know I don't really know how the trucker industry works. You guys correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, or educate me, enlighten me. A lot of the sources where the truckers get their loads from, the load companies who dispatch the work, they're not even accepting loads going to New York. Like, this is getting like beyond just the truckers. But anyway, she said that the bosses of the freight companies, they're not going to care if the truckers deny the loads. They'll just go somewhere else, meaning they'll probably go somewhere else besides New York. Now, other people are saying that these companies probably won't ship because they don't want their products to be loaded on a trailer that's going nowhere. Basically, 100% support for the truckers. Or maybe they just go outside the United States. You never know, right? And as this video, spread on social media, it even gained a lot of attention it gained a lot of attention, period, but it got the attention of former President Donald Trump. It's pretty interesting how that played out. So Trump ended up posting on his own Truth social network about how it's such an honor to have so many great patriots on the side of freedom. Trump went on to say that, Joe Biden's unfair and dangerous weaponization of law enforcement is a serious threat to democracy. And lastly, he said to make America great again. So you got Chicago Ray later deleting his video from his Twitter page after it went viral. I think it got like something like 6 million views or something like that. But he did say that he still stands with the movement. He said that he stands with Trump. 100% truckers for Trump, he said. Now, Chicago Ray having to take down his post after some possible pressure from outside entities is a whole nother video that I'm looking into for you guys, because a lot of people are asking me, hey, why did he take the video down? What was the reasoning behind that? Was he forced to? Did someone call him or reach out to him or something like that? But anyway, I just can't help but think, there may have been some external, maybe some government pressure there, but what do y'all think on that? Like, I don't really know yet. So anyway, so the New York Mayor's Office, the New York Association of Convenience Stores, and the New York-based National Supermarkets Association, they didn't immediately respond to requests for comment on this. But if mostly peaceful protests are all right, as they say, then the trucker warfare should be fine. Now, prior proposed trucker boycotts they've had mixed results in the past. Last July, a proposed one-day trucker boycott in Florida over a strict new immigration law fizzled out, especially since many truckers, they don't own their own trucks. Some people do. Not everyone knows. Not everyone's an owner operator. And those who do may be under some financial pressure to take whatever jobs are available. Like I said, loads are very low. A lot of these truckers, they entered the game after the pandemic shut down, and there was tons of online orders, and Amazon was booming, and everyone was ordering everything online. But now that a lot of people have gone back to work and they're not remote working anymore, some of that demand has dried up, but there's still a lot of truckers out there. And so the load rates have gone down. And so a lot of truckers are almost in a destitute situation to take almost any load, regardless of how unprofitable it might be. Anyway, be that as it may, Late 2021, a trucker boycott in Colorado got some results. In that case, truckers were furious over a 110-year prison sentence for a truck driver who was involved in a crash that killed 4 people. Now, very unfortunate situation for all who were involved. Colorado Governor Jared Polis ended up reducing the driver's sentence to just 10 years after millions of people signed a petition and outcry on the issues from celebrities, including Kim Kardashian. So it's interesting, So here you had a man who was sentenced to 110 years in prison for this truck driver accident. Later, after significant public outcry to the tune of millions of signatures and Kim Kardashian's involvement, the judge ended up basically reducing the sentence down to 10 years. So it'd be really interesting to see how this whole thing pans out here in the coming days and weeks. Hopefully not weeks, with Donald Trump and his $355 million verdict that was handed down. And so anyway, it's not clear how many truckers are going to get involved in this New York City boycott. This is only day one so far. We're like, I don't know, supposed to start, this as of today, Monday. So I don't know, we're probably like 18 hours or 20 hours into this thing so far. But anyway, so after Trump hailed their, plan on his Truth Social page, Chicago One Ray posted again. He ended up saying how cool it was that Trump posted his video and picture on his Truth Social account. I would think that's pretty cool. Now, since Chicago, I don't know if it's Chicago One Ray or Chicago Ray One, y'all correct me in the comments. Since he shared this video, others have chimed in on the alleged boycott, saying that they supported the move. Now, one person posted, "Do it. Let us know how we can help. You're not alone in this fight." Another person said something like, we can always rely on the truckers to restore some semblance of the right thing in response. Thank you for the many here on Twitter, your courage to stand up to the Marxist leftists. Now picture this, guys. New York City, the bustling metropolis that never sleeps, suddenly grinds to a halt. Not because of a blackout, not because of a blizzard, but because the lifeblood of the economy, the trucks, have vanished. Imagine empty streets, no more 18-wheelers rumbling down the avenues, no deliveries, filling store shelves, no rumbling garbage trucks keeping the streets clean. The street sweepers, they're gone, right? And I'm not talking about the latest dystopian movie. It's the potential reality of a widespread trucker boycott. And the impact would be immediate and likely far-reaching beyond New York City. And this is what I was talking about earlier in today's video. Supermarkets, once overflowing with fresh produce and pantry staples, would become barren landscapes of empty shelves. You got prices already strained by inflation, would likely skyrocket as basic necessities like milk, bread, and even toilet paper. Yes, I said toilet paper become scarce. Now, anyone who lives in New York, y'all already know how expensive food and groceries and pretty much anything is in New York, right? So imagine it got, worse, which would happen because it's basic economics, supply and demand. If the supply gets cut off, i.e. Truckers not delivering to New York City, well, what do you think is going to happen to prices? And, if people are aware of this, it's probably going to happen even faster because people are going to be smart. They're going to want to make sure that they don't run out. So, the shelves will probably get depleted even faster if that were the case. Anyway, just imagine the stress of scrambling to find baby formula or looking for medication for an elderly parent in the midst of a city gripped with a supply chain chaos, right? And even beyond that, individual anxieties. Business would just be like, I don't know, out of business almost, especially since they wouldn't be able to secure fresh ingredients from truck deliveries. Restaurants would be forced to slash menus, maybe even raise prices or even shutter their doors entirely. And just imagine like all the Uber drivers and the Lyft, not Uber drivers, the DoorDash drivers and I don't know what other food delivery services, all these different side hustlers out there would likely not have as much to deliver. So I don't know. Anyway, so overall, the vibrant hospitality industry, which is supposedly a cornerstone of the city's identity, it would face potentially a lot of layoffs, sending shockwaves throughout the local economy and leaving countless New Yorkers jobless, maybe just temporarily until things got back in line, maybe something similar to what we saw during the Great Recession of 2008 for a short period of time. But, I don't think that this would be good for traffic in the Big Apple either. I mean, sure, there'd probably be an initial lull, but soon enough, the lack of truck deliveries would end up forcing businesses to resort to maybe some smaller, less efficient vehicles. So picture a swarm of delivery vans just clogging up the already narrow streets, turning commutes into like nightmarish gridlocks and adding another layer of frustration to daily life for the average American. That would kind of suck, right? And this doesn't just stop with convenience. Like hospitals who rely on truck deliveries, for a steady flow of medical supplies and equipment could soon face critical shortages. I mean, just imagine the fear and anxiety of patients facing delayed procedures or canceled appointments due to a lack of essential items. And of course, the impact will be particularly harsh on vulnerable populations who depend on regular medical care. Even the city's sanitation system is probably going to be affected to some extent. I don't know if the truck drivers who drive like garbage trucks will be involved in this, but they are truck drivers. With garbage trucks immobilized, trash would pile up on the sidewalks, creating, not just an unpleasant eyesore, but just potential health hazard. It's already there's already a lot of, rats in New York City. Imagine if the trash just stayed piling up, not getting picked up. That would be a huge problem. I mean, you remember what happened with the garbage truck protest in France, right? So just imagine the stench, the smell, the overflowing bins, and the increased risk of disease spreading, right? And if you add to that, you got public services like road repairs and infrastructure maintenance that would likely also grind to a halt, further disrupting the city's rhythm. I mean, to put it simply, the ripple effects of a trucker boycott could theoretically erode the very fabric of New York City's identity. The bustling energy, the diverse communities, the vibrant cultural scene, all of it thrives on a complex ecosystem fueled by the tireless work of truckers. Without them, the city that never sleeps might find itself just sleeping. So anyway, like a New York trucker boycott would literally send shockwaves rippling across the nation, triggering potentially a domino effect that could impact everyone from farmers in California to factory workers in Ohio. I mean, imagine farm fresh produce rotting in fields because there's no way to transport it, leading to financial losses for farmers and higher prices for consumers nationwide. Manufacturers relying on New York's port for crucial materials could also face production delays, impacting supply chains and potentially leading to job cuts across the entire country. The economic toll wouldn't be limited to specific industries. As prices spike in New York, inflation could creep across state lines, putting a strain on household budgets everywhere. The tourism industry, a vital source of revenue for many states, could also suffer a blow. With New York struggling, travelers might choose alternative destinations, impacting local economies across the country. Now, I'm not here to scare you guys. I'm just here to spark a conversation and look at where we are right now. Where are we likely to go from here? And how do we protect ourselves? How do we prepare ourselves? How do we prepare our families? My question for you is, would you be ready if any of this happened? And what do you think about a trucker protest for Trump? Do you support it? Do you support the truckers? Do you support Trump? Like, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you think that that the proper verdict was already handed out and that Trump should pay $355 million in fines? What are your thoughts? I want to hear from you guys. Let's be kind to each other in the comments. I want to hear both sides of the argument. I know everyone's not going to be in agreement, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me jump in the comments here. Let me see what you guys are saying. I know the comments have to have been going off here. Businesses will. Okay, so Neon Phoenix says businesses in New York City will be moving out like crazy. Um, oh wow, Maxwell says Maxwell Crazy Cat. I didn't even think about that. What about fuel deliveries? Oh man, you want to shut a country? You want to shut a city down? Let the gas stations run out of gas. Oh, that'll that'll be a big problem. Um, Let me see. I wonder how many people are filling up their gas tanks just to top off and make sure they're good, because a lot of these companies want you to, have to be in the office. So if you run out of gas, you might lose your job, right? Um, Juanita Hall says yes, he broke the law. Okay. Wise Intelligence says he's not above the law. He's got to pay. Um, A lot of Adriana Munoz says, I support the truckers and Trump. He shouldn't pay a dime. All right, all right. Alfred says, escape New York. Um, so Bella Drapia says, I was talking to a guy who runs a Chinese restaurant and his boss has a few places in New York City. He says no problem. They come here now and we send up to New York. We keep places open. Interesting. So I guess if you have maybe multiple chains, maybe you can move your own goods yourself. Like let's just say you have a store or a couple of stores in New York, but maybe you have some other stores or maybe franchises in other states or other cities. Because it sounds like they're just boycotting New York City. I don't know if it's New York State. So if you're at least maybe you have some way of getting goods from another location that's not in New York City that you can keep your business operations going. Entrepreneurs and business owners are going to have to get real creative on this one because, I could imagine the impact here. By the way, if you guys appreciate the conversation, definitely hit the like for the video, and be sure to share this video with someone who needs to hear about this. The channel totally appreciates you guys, and of course, I want to thank you guys for helping us reach 500,000 subscribers just the other day. Had no idea we would be here today. I'll be honest with you guys, but I'm so thankful for every single one of you guys. What's up, Katalia? Appreciate the hearts, my friend. Janet Tucker says hi. Agent 888 says Trump's fault. Let's see. Dewey Bowser. Maybe Bill Gates will deliver a load of bugs for us to eat. Just saying. Hopefully we don't have to resort to Bill Gates's bugs. Let's see. Mystical Stab Artist says, I just dropped off medical supplies, pick up a trailer, didn't pull onto the street yet, parking lot, and they tried to cite me for being over length. Oh my God. I think today, and at least for the rest of the week, they need to give truckers a break in the New York City area because they don't want to piss truckers off, because the truckers that are actually making deliveries, y'all need to, they need to make them happy. I'm just saying. Katalia says it's called We the People Standing Up, Go Truckers. So I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions on today's discussion here. Some people are saying that Trump should pay. Other people are saying they support the truckers and they stand with Trump. So anyway, drop me some comments, guys. I'm gonna keep reading your comments after the live ends. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I really look forward to bringing you guys the next update that I'm already working on, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe.